agree with what you said.
So now coming directly to the next question. So now, sir, this is a brilliant question. Actually, this is coming from Alok, and he's from Twitter. Sir, he has posted an interview of a person who is from a working class, sir, and he has highlighted one sentence where the man says that you would rather make us die instead of living such a terrible life for the people like us, because we are actually dying without food and without money. So he has asked the question after that. So he has said that government issued lockdown, but they never thought of the people who are working on daily wages. So what would you like to say to them?
Okay. The question is interesting as well as a tough one to answer. The point is that we have always found faults in the government. Let us be very clear and straightforward. Every government has done something good and something bad. So we can't blame the previous government saying that they destroyed the country. But the point is, it's not that they never did anything. कुछ ना कुछ तो सबने किया, and as a part of the government, they have to do it. At least just to show people that they need to be in power, they need to do it. But that's not our thing. The government did not do a lot of things. Agreed. There are people who say that the government did a lot of things. Agreed. But here I would like to point out again that what are we as a society doing? Okay. Why? Because I have seen people in my area who earn a lot of money, like जिनका daily का कमाई 70,000-80,000 का है. Okay. And they just give the maid servant away. And how much are they paying the maid servant? 1,000 rupees a month. So 80,000 उनके even if let's consider that 50,000 is the monthly income, तो उसमें से महीने का 1,000 is like 12,000 for a year. Okay, so now they afforded everything, they did everything that they wanted to do, but they didn't pay the maid 1,000 rupees a month. I mean, how do we deal with this situation? How do we deal with this mindset? Okay, I have another in my locality. The maid servant who comes to us also goes to them. So the maid servant was mature enough to actually say that I will not ask for salary because their source of income has stopped and their financial situation is not that great. So she was mature enough to say that. Now coming to the other side, the person, okay, the house in which the condition is not good, they also told that we won't be able to pay because we do not have a great condition as such. Ironically, they got a new dog and they are spending on it. I have nothing against pets. Okay, pets को लाओ, उनको पालो, वो तुम्हारा personal choice है. मेरा pets के against कुछ नहीं है. Even there is a dog who comes and sits in my compound every day, so I feed him. That is not the point. The point is that at a point you say that you don't have money, you don't have 500 rupees a month to pay to your maid, and then you have 12,000 to 15,000 rupees to spend on the dog. Point is that you have to prioritize things and you have to be sensitive to realize what people are undergoing, what people are facing, and then take your decisions accordingly. I've seen so many examples in the 3 months who are like earning a lot of money, they have no problem, but they do not pay these small people. So government may be at fault, coming back to the question, but as a society, even we are at fault.
So definitely, sir, this is an example, sir. Like, this is a very bold line which I am about to say, but it is the truth that people are treating the lower sections of the society like they're worse than the animals. Like, they're treating them literally like that.
Correct.
So, sir, coming to the next question. So, this is another interesting question, and this is from Aero India. So, okay. And he wants to ask you. So he, she, whosoever it is. Sir, they have given a beautiful example. Sir, they said that in Germany as well as in Thailand, so the essentials were on, but the essentials were ordered from an app and they were delivered to your house using drones. So why couldn't India do that?
I guess we have not yet developed that kind of an affordable affordable technology to transport things through drones. That has not yet happened, and that needs a huge revolution. I guess, see, the logic is that when we say that we buy a phone in India, so when we buy a phone in India, it is usually a phone which has been used and thrown already months before in other developed countries such as China, Japan, or maybe even in other parts of the world. The point is, yes, it is the need of the hour for us, for our country, to look at these sections and see how technology can be used. I remember, I guess it was Swaraj from my class. So Swaraj had shown me a video of how, I don't exactly remember. I should ask him that in some part of the world, medicines were transferred through drones and planes. Like, the order was received and it was transferred like within half an hour or 1 hour, something like that. And the planes were robot, like small planes, as it was shown in Uri. Okay. The सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक, तो उसमें जो छोटा सा प्लेन दिखाया था बर्ड के शेप का, it was that kind. So no human was driving it. It was just controlled by GPS location and everything. And this was way before the pandemic occurred. So I guess we need to invest in such kind of technology where things become affordable. And this is like a long way to go. It can happen in India, but it will take time, and it will require a lot of encouragement from the government as well as the people. Initially, yes, see, the point is setting up anything takes time, and it is a tough process. But after the change happens, after that the process becomes smooth. So I think that time needs to be given.
Sir, and even in the news, I have heard that Zomato and Swiggy, they have started their experiments that whether they could deliver and is it affordable that they can do home delivery using drones. So they have started that kind of experiments. So we might expect this change a little sooner than later.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, we might.
So now coming to the next question. Sir, this is from Mac Bro. So he is asking you, what role has social media played in COVID-19 pandemic?
Okay. Usually we, as teachers also, we keep on telling everybody to stay away from social media. And there are guidelines from WHO. There are guidelines from so many counselors and psychologists who basically tell us that how much should we really use social media. That is there. But I guess initially, in the initial month of March, it was the social media to a lot of extent which kept us, like sane over here. But all this said and done, it is the ultimate truth that we cannot get addicted to social media because social media does not really, like, nowadays social media has started becoming at least a little bit real. Okay, otherwise social media always had only the positive things, which created a very false situation that everything in life is great, which is not. Even there are so many celebrities who have posted that just because we post positive photos or something from the photo shoot does not mean that we have a great life. We all have problems and we have to deal with them. So social media has played a good role in entertaining people to some extent. Instagram immediately saw a lot of programs happening on Instagram Live. So I think that kind of entertained people. But at the same time, it also, unfortunately, it also made people take to social media too much. It's like, people went online too much. They were too frequently online, and they unfortunately couldn't find anything else to do, which is unfortunate because there were a lot of things they could have done, maybe played board games or something like that. So yes, that would have happened, but so there is a negative impact as well. And in fact, the problem is that social media has made people stick to their mobile screens a lot. Again, that is a huge problem. So unscreening is equally important. So though it has given us some positives, but it has also taken us to the other side, which is not very pleasant.
Yes, sir, surely. Sir, coming to the next question, and this comes in from Instagram. So the name is actually not very clear. Yes, Shehzad. What would be your opinion on the economic recession globally? How much time would it take to come back?
It would take a huge time to come back. Huge time. To to build something takes time, to destroy something just happens like that. Economy का भी कुछ ऐसा ही है. To build something, it is going to take time.
So, and we are starting from zero once again.
Yeah, we have to begin from zero. We have to begin from scratch. And the point is that after the pandemic ends, like whenever it ends, or even right now, it has already changes have already begun in the society. Okay, we have to look at the positives. We have to look at the new opportunities. We have to look at the new skill sets that we need to learn. Why am I talking about these things? Is that this pandemic has told us that we need to learn new skill sets to survive in the society. Okay.
Definitely.
Similarly, the economy will be affected, and if people adapt to changes quickly and they start accordingly, the economy may boom a little better than what it is expected. But yes, the entire world economy is going to take a lot of time to fall in place. It is like a jigsaw puzzle which is absolutely in chaos right now. And it is going to take a lot of time to bring back the pieces together according to the place that they perfectly fit in. So,
Sir,
yeah,
definitely.
economy is gone for a toss.
So there are many sectors in economy that have gone in negative, like the oil sector, they are in negative currently. So it might take definitely a long time. So coming to the next question. So this is from Akshay Jain. Sir, he wants to ask you, this is a very interesting question and I would like to know your opinion on this. As a teacher, what do you think is going to be the social impact in this situation on the society?
Okay, as a teacher, I would say that there are a lot of implications that are going to be there on the society. As I told that social media came in as a blessing, but it also came in as a problem. It would be, first of all, it would be very difficult to take people away from social media as they have got so used to it in the past 2-3 months. That is one thing. A heavy kind of wiring and engineering is going to be needed to make people come out of all the habits that they indulged into, because ultimately new habits need to be formed. That is equally important. Then I guess one positive impact that I can look at it as, like, not one but many. One of the positive impacts may be that people may start caring for each other as insects rather than entering into a rat race. That can be one. Second is people can think of there may be a change in the thinking about mental illnesses, and mental illnesses, hopefully, at least for 1%, can be treated as normal, because they should be treated as normal. That is one. And I guess we would maybe, I don't know, but maybe we may learn to live together as a society in a much better way. I think that's what is happening. But at the same time, the negatives are also there. People may just, treat other people rudely because they may not need their services any longer. And this will affect the daily wage workers or the lower classes of the strata of the society for sure. This may happen. Okay. But yeah, there are multiple effects and you cannot really stick to one thing. But there are a lot of things which will happen. As students, I guess as students, you guys will need to understand that we have to be more responsible. So I guess, yeah, like we cannot keep on blaming कि इन्होंने पिछले पीढ़ी ने ऐसा किया, पिछले पीढ़ी ने वैसा किया, हम ऐसा बोल नहीं सकते. I guess it is time that we stop blaming and start changing. And because if we start today, we may start looking at real change like 5 or 10 years down the line. So yeah, I think these are the implications that the pandemic will have in the society, positive and negative both, because every coin has two sides and you cannot have only one impact.
Yes, sir, definitely it is going to be a very important change and we might have some demerits whereas some merits. So now coming to the next question, sir. This is from Sonali, and sir, it is also an interesting question which I would like to know your opinion on. Sir, she wants to ask you that, sir, what do you think has Zoom, Cisco WebEx, and apps like Skype being been a very important role in the lockdown, or do you think there could have been other options?
Looking at the current situation, I guess Cisco WebEx, Zoom, Google Meet hai, Skype hai. Looking at the current situation, this is the only way to conduct classes or even conduct meetings. So I'll go beyond the classroom scenario. Uh, even we as I told you yesterday and the evening that I had my school reunion, which was virtual. So I passed in 2007, and after that we were like a batch of 90 kids, and we met yesterday. One of our classmates took initiative, and he was behind us since 2 weeks, and then it finally happened. So yesterday we could manage to bring together 40 people from my own class batch of 2007. So I guess such kind of things will happen. They have been instrumental. If I come down to education sector, currently I don't see any other option. Okay, another option is something which I use, posting YouTube videos. But apart from that, I can't see any other option of how this can work in a better way. I guess we should be happy with what we have, because what we have is a blessing, and many people in many parts of India are not even getting access to these apps, and their learning has stopped. In fact, if we look at I haven't actually pulled out any statistics, but if we look at the statistics, I'm pretty sure that only a few percentage of people are able to learn. There are many जहाँ पे कुछ शुरू भी नहीं हुआ है, और जो हुआ है वो ढंग से नहीं हो पाया है. And we can't really point faults at anybody, but yeah, it takes a lot of new learning mindset to learn something such as technology, and it takes a lot of things. Like, not everyone is wired in the same way, so yeah, it is a problem. But yes, with all the hope that such apps will be a very common app like WhatsApp in the near future. We already used WhatsApp even before lockdown to talk about many things, to send assignments. I have used WhatsApp groups to send you assignments in the class or something like that. So I guess yeah, we are basically looking at that kind of revolution wherever possible. So yeah, these apps have been great, and I don't see any alternatives.
Sir, I would definitely like the people who are following me on Twitter to listen to all these statements, because, sir, there has been a lot of hate after this statement on Twitter saying that, of course, there is no other option, but how can you only see that these are the important aspects? Why are you not thinking of the other sections and the laborers mostly, because they are not accessible? If apart the IT sector, there has been no progress in other sectors as comparing to these apps.
Not only that, even there's a problem even good homes find it a problem. So we just cannot put it to the lower strata of the society. The bigger problem is that there have been homes where both the parents are working. Okay, now the point is, if both the parents are working like 8 hours or 12 hours, it is difficult for them to give their laptop to their kid to attend the school for 5 hours or classes for 2-3 hours. So even in homes where everything is well and good, it's a problem. Some parents very carefully and very beautifully say that they don't really want to give independent phones in the hands of their kids, because they understand what negatives it can have on their kids. But yes, even good households find it a problem. Lower strata तो होगा ही होगा, उनको तो problem होने ही होता है.
Surely, sir. Sir, coming to the next question, this is from Jayant. Sir, another interesting question. This one is, sir, he wants to ask you, sir, that which is the sector you think is the worst affected?
Okay, I have not really had my research on this. To be honest, I have not read newspapers since a long time. I just read the snippets. But I guess many sectors are affected. Like many, you can't name one. Because see, as we study in economics, that development may happen in one sector, but it may not happen equally. Okay, like for example, we say that the service sector in the urban areas is doing great. Banking, teaching, transportation, these things are doing great. But it does not mean that these things are doing great even in the rural areas. So that does not happen. The point is we can't point at one sector because every sector deals differently. Every sector has different scope at different places. But a lot of sectors are affected. As you mentioned, the oil sector is affected big time. Um, and yeah, such is the happening. I can talk about the education sector. Actually, the education sector is also affected like all others. The first point is that in an industry, when one thing stops, the entire circle stops moving. Okay, so if the product goods does not happen, the manufacturing does not happen, the sale does not happen, nothing happens, everything comes to a standstill. In education sector, it has been so worse that some people are conducting classes, some people are not conducting classes, some people are not able to conduct classes full time. It's very difficult. It's like sticky. It's like being stuck in a swamp. It's very wet and you can't come out of it. So
Definitely.
that one is there. But I guess apart from that, a lot of sectors are affected. I can't see one which sector. Transport sector is affected really bad. Okay, like the people who are tourist agents who like spend their entire livelihood being tourist agents or do tourist works are affected because since 2-3 months there's no income on that plane point, and there are no hopes. The hotel industry is affected big time. Food industry is affected big time. Like the people who are planning to open up new hotels will find it a little bit difficult, considering the physical distancing which should be imposed, considering the trust that needs to be gained before they start selling food. So yeah, every sector